Hey guys, so today we're going to review this Morphe brush set that I got, the set 901, the Gilded set. This retails for $159, did used to be $184, and it comes with both face and eye brushes. These are what I have mine in. Obviously I did use them because this is after I did the look. So we are going to kind of just go through, do a look with these, and then discuss how we feel about these brushes. And I'm mostly trying to see if there's a brush for everything that I would need in a full face look. So we are just going to get right into that and see. I did order these brushes straight off the Morphe website. They came in just plastic. It wasn't like a box or anything. I mean, like, well, the actual package was a box, but inside was just, they were in plastic. So yeah, I would say the quality of them, you can tell they're like a hollow metal, which is fine, but the brush itself, soft, all that good stuff. So we'll see how those work out. If you want to see that, then just keep watching. Okay, so we're just gonna jump into this makeup look. I don't really know what I'm gonna do here, but I am gonna use all brushes, which is kind of weird because I always use a beauty blender for my foundation, but I am going to use a brush today. I do occasionally use a brush, but not always, more just when I'm too lazy to go wet the sponge. Am I the only one who does that? Anyways, so we're going to use this full set for our makeup and kind of review as we go how I feel about these brushes. And we're going to see if there's a brush kind of for everything that I need in here. So let's jump into it. Okay, so I was going to do my brows with a pomade today, even though I've lately been using a pencil. I was going to do a pomade just so I could try out a brush, but there actually isn't a great brow brush in this selection, so I'm just going to do my brows off camera, using my Benefit Precisely My Brow like I have been lately. And so that's something to keep in mind, that if you do want a brow brush, this set doesn't have a great one. Okay, so we did my brows, primed my eyes with some concealer, and threw on my cute little kitty cat headband. So we are just going to jump into eyes and test out some of these brushes. I am going to be using the palette Be a Mermaid and Make Waves by Tarte. So we will just kind of do something fun with that. I don't really know what I'm going to do, but I just want to use these brushes. So let's get on with it. We'll zoom in. Okay, so first I'm going to take the bigger fluffy brush from Morphe, the Morphe Y16, and I'm going to dip into the shade Sandbar. And I just chose a bigger one because I want to put it all in my crease. Like, it's a lighter shade, nicer transition shade, so we're going to throw it all in my crease. That brush blended really nicely. I have used this palette before, so I do know that it blends well already, but the brush did blend well also. So now I'm going to take the more domed blending brush it's called Y15. We're going to go in with Sure Thing, which is a little bit of a darker shade, and target that even further into our crease to build further dimension. Now I'm deciding to just put it kind of all over my lid, so that's what we're doing. And now, since I've decided to put it all over my lid, I'm going to take the Morphe Y18. This is more of a flat brush, still kind of fluffy. It's not like a full-blown like packing brush, but I'm going to take that with the darkest matte shade Shipwreck and put that all over my lid, since that's the direction we've decided to take. And since this top part is a little bit more on the fluffy side, I can kind of still hit my lid while still blending into the crease, which is kind of nice, without doing like a harsh line on the lid. Okay, and for the sake of wanting to use as many brushes from this set as I can, I'm going to go in with this clean Y17 blending brush and just buff out the edges so it's all clean. Well, I already know these shadows blend nicely. These brushes definitely help the process, I would say. Okay, so I gotta say there's not a great packing brush in this set to kind of pack on the lid. So I do want a shade on my lid that's pretty nice and packed, so I'm just going to take my finger for this one since there's not a great shade in there for this. I'm going to take the shade Fantastic, which is like a bronzy red shade, and pack that on my lid. These are already pretty pigmented. I do wish there was a packing brush so I could see what it looks like wet. I can't super complain because I like to pack with my finger anyways, but you know. And we're just going to go back with that original one I cleaned up with, the Y17, and blend that shade I just packed with the matte shade. And I'm going to take this much more domed blending brush. It is still a little big for what I'm wanting it to do, but is the Y19. And I'm going to take that Shipwreck shade, that matte shade again, and kind of just deepen it up even further just on the outer part of the eye. So this brush does pick up a lot of product, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. And once again, cleaning up the edges. Okay, so as far as shadows go, I'm going to leave this eye alone for right now until I come back to the lower lash line. I'm going to do more of a pop of color on the lower lash line with this look. But for now, I'm going to move on to liner because this is a brush video. I'm going to do my liner off camera. Oh wait, unless there's a liner brush. There's not a liner brush, so I'm just going to do a normal liner off camera and then come back. Okay, so I did my liner. I also threw on some lashes, which you saw the sad death of my lash that I ripped, but I still made it work. So if my lashes look a little funny, that's why. But I just really want to wear these lashes, so I did it. I haven't blended them yet, so I'll do that in a sec, but we're going to move on to face for right now. Okay, so I already primed my face, moisturized, all that good stuff, primed with my IT Cosmetics number 50 serum, which is a primer. Kind of just smooths out and hydrates, and now I'm going to go in with some foundation using a brush. This is just a flat top. It is the Morphe Y6. I hear a lot about raving about this brush, so we'll see how she goes. We're going to use the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. I'm just going to apply it straight to the brush, but I'm actually going to dot. Let's see where this goes. Okay, so that was pretty quick how that blended in. She left a little hair. Uh-oh. But I do like this brush, I really do. Another stray guy. Could just be because it's new though, but so far so good. Other side of the face. Feels weird doing my foundation not with a beauty blender. Occasionally I'll do like the quick brush, but then I always feel like I go back with a beauty blender, so far this isn't leaving like streaks, which is what I hate about foundation brushes, so. Okay, I like it. I actually really like this. I'll use this more often, I really will. Okay, who knew I'd like a foundation brush? Okay, and for concealer, we're using my Tarte Shape Tape. And there wasn't like a great brush for concealer in there, but I do want to use a brush for this purpose, so I'm going to use this guy. This is the Morphe Y10. I do like a fluffy brush for concealer if I'm going to use one. Typically I'd like one a little bit smaller, but we'll see how this works. Who knows? I'm not using my finger. So it wasn't bad for like getting under the eye, but not like right under the eye, which I feel like is kind of with everything. I feel like I always go back with my finger for right under my eye. Otherwise, I kind of like it. I feel like I could definitely use this brush for other things too, whether it be like setting the under eye with powder, maybe even a highlight brush, balancing the forehead. And now we are just going to set the under eye with some translucent setting powder. This one is from Milani in the shade Translucent, light to medium 01. I'm going to take this Morphe Y11 brush. It's kind of like dome shaped, and tap it into that powder and just set. I do like this brush a lot for setting the under eye. I like soft brushes for the under eye because that skin is so sensitive on your under eye and it just thins out with age. So I like something soft. It's not going to tug at it, and I kind of just do pressing motions. Oh, that did really nicely. It did like just nice soft set, blurred out a little bit. So I'm going to take my other Milani Prep Set and Glow Illuminating Transparent Powder and take this Morphe Y7 brush. It's a little more domed, not as dense, and I feel like I could use this as foundation. I would like this too, but we're going to do it for powder. Kind of just press on everywhere else that I'm going to place powder that wasn't the under eye. Okay, this one's my favorite, I think, so far. I just like how it feels, and it feels like it's picking up enough powder, not too much, and I feel like I'd probably like it for like foundation as well. Okay. And then we're going to contour. I'm going to take the fan brush, the Morphe Y13. I think I'm really going to like this. I love fan brushes for contouring, so we're going to try this out. I'm going to take my NARS bronzer in Laguna. The key with the fan brush is holding it from the very end and letting the brush do the work for you. Okay, so this fan brush is pretty bomb diggity. I like it. It's very soft. I don't like the really rough ones. Like, I like synthetic fan brushes, especially ones that have that perfect angle that really just kind of do the work for you as far as contouring goes. So if you like a heavy contour, I wouldn't do a fan brush. It's for a very natural, like barely there contour. So that's kind of what I like on a day-to-day basis, so that's why I use that. If you want to go in with a heavier contour, I would probably use, let's try this. Let's try the Morphe Y8, just for schnitz and giggles. It's a little bit more like thin, so we'll get in there a little bit more. It's going to pick up more product. I would say maybe do the fan brush for contour, that barely there, but then do this one more for bronzer. But definitely picks up more products than that fan brush. So you can tell it's more prominently there. Okay, so now we're going to apply some blush. I'm going to use my Too Faced Papadome Peach blush, and I'm going to use the Morphe Y9. This is a smaller kind of domed brush, not domed, smaller fluffy brush. You could definitely use the Morphe Y4 as well, this angled blush brush. However, I have a smaller face and like less blush, so I'm going to try this guy out, but like I said, you could definitely use that other one. This isn't showing up. I'm going to try a different blush. Oops. I'm going to use a blush that's discontinued, so I'm not telling you what it is, but it's one of my favorites. It's a Becca blush, but I'm sorry guys. There we go. Now we've got some color. I do really like that as a blush brush because I don't I like blush, but I don't like it too big and then where it cuts into my contour because my face is so small. So that's that. And then let's jump into some highlighter. I am going to use some good old Champagne Pop from Becca with this Morphe Y14. Again, a smaller little brush. I like this too because I feel like it's very precise when we're placing it. Again, with a smaller face, it's hard to precisely place highlights sometimes. Alright, I like you guys. I like you. Okay. So that's a lot of it. I am going to use this because this brush just intrigues me. This like flat Morphe Y12 brush. And I'm going to do this just to kind of like carve out here since it's got a little messy. I'm going to use this translucent setting powder again. See how that just like cleans it up, carves it out. Okay, so now I'm going to come back to eyes and finish up that under eye. So I'm going to take this flat Morphe Y21 and take that deeper Shipwreck shade and put that just right along my lash line. And this is kind of just giving a base for the next shade I'm going to do. Now I'm going to take the Morphe, this is like the smallest little dumb brush. It is the Y22. And I'm going to take this iridescent shade Bubbles. It's got like bluish in it, but it's also got hints of red, so I think it'll go with this look, hopefully. Okay, so I did that little under eye part. Now I'm just going to throw on a lip off camera. I'm going to use my Milani Color Statement Lip Liner in 12 and the NYX Lip Lingerie in 01. And then we're going to come back and talk about the brushes that I didn't use, which were only like I didn't use 7 brushes, so I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the finished look with those brushes. Overall, I am stoked about these brushes. The main reason I had bought them was because I was just over all the brushes I was using and kind of just wanted to replace all of them for the time being. I mean, I didn't get rid of my other brushes, but just kind of like see if I could get away with having all the brushes I need in one set. And I have been eyeing this set for quite some time. Overall, I'm very pleased. Everyone I did use I really liked. I would say the only thing is there's just a few like core brushes I'm missing. And that would be an eyebrow brush, so I did add my Anastasia, I think it's just a little brow brush, I don't know, in there. So I have that. I did the Morphe M170 like tiny packing brush that I can use for like cut creases. I do need to add a packing brush in there, however I always use my finger. And that was, I think, what is this lash doing? Okay. So I think that was mostly the only brushes that I was really missing that I would typically want to have in a set. However, great brush set, honestly. Great quality, great price. I think the price of this set is $159 for 23 brushes, so pretty good. It did used to be higher. It used to be $184, but now it's $159. So pretty good deal. I know a lot of YouTubers have discount codes too for like 15% off that you can use. I do not because I am a nobody, so sorry about that. Check out some other YouTubers and you'll be able to find one. But overall, great. Like I said, I didn't use, I think, 7 brushes out of all of those, and those included just another little tiny eye brush. This would be good for that under eye, maybe doing some detail work. This one's a little bit bigger, more of like a dense kind of blending brush you could really get in that outer corner with. I didn't use these 2 bigger like powder brushes. These are actually very similar. Morphe Y1 and Y3. I do like these brushes for like setting the face. These are great for like under eye powder or just all over the face. You could do for bronzer as well. I just have a small face, so that's not really my forte with that, but powder brushes are always nice to have. And then there's also more of like the condensed one. This would be good for like blush as well, bronzer, all that good stuff, powder. Once again, however you want to use that. This one, again, one of those bigger fluffy brushes, but it's a little bit thinner. So you could get in those hollows of those cheekbones, again, blush brush, etc. And another angled blush brush. Like I said, you could totally use this instead of that tiny one that I used. So overall, pretty great brush set. I'm excited about this, and you'll probably be seeing me use these for a while in my upcoming videos, as I have put my other brushes on hold in their little storage place. I'm sure there'll be holy grail brushes that I pull out that I'm like, okay, I can't live without this. But overall, super stoked about these brushes, and that is my final opinion. Thanks for watching.